know I took my business to the next level? It's simple. It's Shopify. Shopify has all the tools in one place to run your business and design your website to match your brand, so you can turn your fans into customers. See for yourself. Start your free Shopify trial today.
Those who are living in the house they paid off are making a huge mistake. You see, there's this wild real estate trick where you can do huge deals without having to buy or sell or own a single property.
Dude, I'm over it. I'm missing holiday. I'm like another grown man tell me when I can be at my kid's birthday, when I can be at a family function, and I get paid more to do real estate than what I'm making now. Sign me up.
All you gotta have is a 2-page piece of paper like this. And honestly, you probably never heard of anyone doing real estate deals.
Hey, peace. Hey, peace and one love. Peace, 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 peace. I want to thank each and every one of y'all who joined on with us. I thank you for joining us today. I truly do. Let's get some things up here. I'm talking today about talents. You know, this is Sunday. This is the day that you all go to church. You say you go to church to worship God. So, you know. Excuse me. But, you know, me being a restorer of the way, I always question the people who I talk to, and I don't do it to put them down. But I do it to give them something to think on. So they'll think over their faith to make sure that they're walking in the right way and not in a false way, not in the way of man, but in the way of the Most High. And when I say the Most High, I'm speaking about the Creator. When I say God, I'm speaking about us, because we are gods. We are the Elohims. And once we understand that, we can begin to start living as them. I think the reason most of us don't live as gods is because we don't understand that we are gods. So I try to instill that to my audience, that we are gods. Each and every one of us are children of the Most High. We all come from the same source. We just don't all do the same things. We just don't all follow the same rules. And that's what I want to talk about, because I read somewhere today, I was in a coffee shop, and they had a sign up. I was going to buy it, but as I started reading through it, there was a few things in there that I didn't agree with. And I'm never going to, anything I don't agree with, I'm not going to hang on my wall. I hang very few pictures on my wall. I hang statements and sayings on my wall. Things that talk about family and stuff like that, and unity. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about us as a people, how we are as followers of God to be living. And I guess one of the things I'm taking my lessons from today is 5 lessons that I got from reading about the talents, the parable of the talents. You know, the scriptures talk the whole scriptures, all of the scriptures are parables. They're stories for us to learn from. So let us understand that they're just metaphors. So I try to take the metaphor and bring it into reality so that you can see the truth in it. The metaphor is talking about us as a people. It's talking about the good people, and it's talking about the evil people. It's talking about us who do good versus those who do evil. It teaches us about evil, so we'll know it when we see it. We'll know what to stay away from if we're striving to be good. Now, if we're striving for the world to be like the world, then we're not going to stay away from these things. So this is, I really come to talk to the people of God because I'm looking for new people. I'm looking for a holy people, a people that's striving for holiness, even if they're not there. They truly believe they can be, and that is their main focus. That's their goal, to achieve holiness. If you're not out to achieve holiness, then we really can't walk together because you still are the world. See, once you strive to achieve holiness, you come out that world. You truly do. You truly do. You come out that world. And when I say come out that world, that don't mean that you leave the world. It means that your mindset becomes different. So let's get on into talking about the parable. How many of y'all have ever read the parable in Matthew 25:14 through 30? And if you haven't, I can read it to you. I don't mind, but I will read it to you for those who didn't read it. Matthew 25. If you got your Bible, you can open it up and you can go there with me. And I will be taking questions afterwards. So if you have any questions, you can definitely put them right on up. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining us. I do ask that you would invite your friends, and I do look for your questions if you have questions. That's the only way I'm going to know if you're really listening and if you really get what I'm saying. Sometimes I joke, but when I talk about God and the way that we should live, I'm very serious. There's no joking in me. So let's talk about this lesson. Let me kind of read this to you. Read the lesson to you. It starts off like this. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, and to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them another 5 talents. And likewise he that had 2, he also gained 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, excuse me, and hid his Lord's money. And after a long time, the Lord of those servants, they come in and reckon with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, and saying, Lord, thou delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. And his Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things, and I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. And his Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. And my Lord answered and said unto him, we're almost finished. And our Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and soothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not straw. Thou owest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with unsurety, with interest. Therefore, look at what he said, take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had it 10 talents. For unto every one that had it shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that had it not, but from him that had it not shall be taken away even that which he had it. And I'm going to leave with the last verse, which is verse 30. Verse 30 say, and cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. Cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. So, excuse me 1 minute. I haven't been talking too much today. So, how should followers of the Most High, we, followers of Yah, how should followers of the Most High think about work, success, and wealth? That's what I want to talk about. You know, I was recently asked to speak on this subject and to answer these tough questions. And as I thought about, oh, I know what's wrong. I think I need some water instead of coffee. I don't like losing my voice when I'm talking. So anyway, let me go ahead and welcome Yaju. You left, didn't you? Yahoo Judah is going to leave quick. But anyway, let me get on. As I thought about how to approach, how to approach these topics, I realized the parable of the talents. As I was thinking about money, as I was thinking about wealth and work, how do we live in this world, we who are children of God? How do we approach work? How do we approach success? What I don't know what you call success, but success to me is being successful in the Most High. How do we approach wealth? And wealth to you may be money, but wealth to me is being wealthy in the things of the Most High. So I began to think on this, and I realized the parable of the talents in Matthew 25:14 through 30, they provide a helpful framework for thinking about them. And as I was studying it while using this parable as a guide for these questions, it's unique because there are 5 points. The ones I'm going to give you, they're just a snippet of the fullness of the truth. So, without further ado, here are some lessons, 5 lessons of the parable of the talents that can teach us about work, that can teach us about success, that can teach us about wealth. Let's look at this now. I just read it to you, and I want you to think about what I read. Now, if you remember, first the parable, it teaches us that success is a product of our work. That's what that's what we learn. That success is a product of our work. Okay? Now, in the book of Genesis, we see that that Yah, the Most High, the Creator, placed Adam in the garden. But he placed Adam in the garden to work it and take care of it. And you probably hear my candy moving around in my mouth, but that's to keep me from losing my voice right now. But Adam was put in the garden to work it and to take care of it. And that would mean that we were made to work. Because Adam is just us. He was just the first of us. But when you define Adam, that just means the dust of the earth, which is where we come from. We'll get into all that. Taking the physical teaching into the spiritual reality of truth. So, we know we was made for work just like Adam. Adam was made to take care of the garden. When Adam fell, he was put out of the garden. So the garden had to be God's people. See, I want you to think about this in truth. Because God talks about us. He uses the things of this world for us to compare with. Like, he talks about trees, but he's talking about us. He's comparing us with a tree. He's comparing himself with a tree, comparing his son with a tree. When he talk about the vine and the vineyard, the vine, what is the vine? That vine was Yahshua, the Son, the only begotten Son. I say only begotten because he's the only one that was truly begotten of the Father, of the great Creator, of that source. After he was begotten of the Father, he did the work of the Father. He did whatever the Word instructed him to do. So he created other beings. Some for the Father, some for him. He worked right beside the Father as an architect. So as the Father gave him the instructions, he did the work. Just like the Anakim, the angels, were in heaven with the Father and with the Son. The children on earth were given to the Son. That's us. His work was to be in us. He was supposed to make us like the Father. He was supposed to do us like the Father did him, and create in us his image and his likeness. Not our image, not our likeness. But his image, his likeness. See, if you come to me in his image, if you come to me in his likeness, I can't hate you, because to hate you would be to hate God. But if you come to me in your image and my image, they're not going to match up. You're going to come to me with a false image. And if I come in my own image, I'm coming to you with a fake image, because we never really show who we are. We're always undercover, out of fear. But if I come to you as God, I have nothing to hide. So when I leave you as God, you know that you've been visited by God. Not because of the person that you see on the outside, but because of the one that you see in me. See, we're so busy to look at the person on the outside, never take time to see who is living on the inside of that house that you're looking at outside. That house could be beautiful on the outside, but you ever seen